cousins. Y'all funny. Because somebody was like, you want us to argue with you when we agree with you? No, but I would like a little pushback. I mean, let's zhuzh it up. Let's have a little yang yang session. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I love y'all. Y'all so silly because I'm just as fucking goofy as the day is long. I am. That's why I posted that picture of 8 Ball. Because I was just sitting here reminiscing about when the first time I got my PlayStation 3, when it came out, my first paycheck working at the hospital, and my he will always have a place in my heart. It was a patient that I grew real close to, and he was paralyzed from the neck down. But this dude was playing the PlayStation 3. He fashioned the remote so he could play with his mouth. And I always used to tell him, like, you need to sell that and get you some money. But I'm sure we had fell out of connection some years ago, and I think the last time I got to speak to him was like one of his cousins was like he's doing good or whatever. But at the time, he was already well into his like late 30s, and he was paralyzed and everything. And those patients and people like that don't live long. So, wherever he's at, I wish him the best. But I just remember sitting there reminiscing. And when we was playing, we used to have so much fun because 8 Ball, when he got his hands blowed up, I'll never forget it. And then we're going to get into this. There was an old bitch running behind me. Because, when you hit one of the people in Grand Theft Auto 3, they used to run behind you in Grand Theft Auto, period. So she was running behind me. And I had just came back, and me and 8 Ball was on a mission. And so she was coming behind me, and she pulled me out the car. And she started whooping my ass. 8 Ball got out the car, came around. Mind you, his hands is taped up. When I tell you he punched this old bitch and she went flying like a rocket, oh, the way we was in there gagged. That shit was funny. She just went flying. And then it was like somebody in the background because they used to have them weird ass people talking, them non NPCs. And he was like, all right, good. Listen, just video games, just the way the core memory of video games are like locked into my mind, and I could just like tell y'all all kind of stories from certain video games, and it just transports me back to where I was at that time and why it holds such a special place in my heart. That's why me and 8 Ball go way back. Me and 8 Ball remind me of my homeboy Paul. So wherever you at, Paul, shout out to you, love. All right, let's get into this. Last night on NXT. Now y'all know this is a big deal because I don't fuck around with NXT like that. Because y'all don't be fucking around with it like that either. Trick Williams was out there cutting a promo, and he had on cowhide, a cowboy boot, or whatever. And I know it's because they was in Texas, so I'm not gonna give him too much on that. And I see all the girls must be working with King Tron because they got all of their chains is looking like the first person I saw with that style was Seth Rollins with the Dookie chain and his little emblem in the middle. Now Trick got one too. I'm not even hating on it. Whatever. Trick cut a promo. He was giving me a lot of Booker T. He was giving me heavy duty Booker T in the promo. But anyway, what Trick is doing is he's goading the LFG girls, okay? So he already called out Undertaker the other night off of fucking Raw in one of the most inflammatory promos you could think, okay? With his TNA title. And the TNA title, by the way, looks fantastic. He told Undertaker he got glass knees, he gonna have a stroke, he gonna blow his shit out. Like he went in on the Undertaker, okay? So now here we are. He's in the ring, he's talking his shit. I didn't like Trick Williams the way he was bringing it. It doesn't seem like the Trick Williams I'm used to. And I do agree with Undertaker on that. So Trick Williams is talking his shit. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I ain't scared of nobody. Fuck that. Boom, boom, boom. Calls out the Undertaker. The Undertaker comes out and he's walking to the ring. You can see his age. I don't like it already. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Why is this necessary? And Undertaker cuts a promo on Trick. But it's not Undertaker doom doom. It's the American Badass Undertaker. It's the literally the lost and the damned before the lost and the damned, right? He it's not the one that I remember from that episode I watched Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Real quick, I was watching Vintage SmackDown, and it was the 2000 episode of SmackDown. Okay, they were getting ready for Unforgiven, and at the time, Mick Foley was the GM, and somebody had took out Stone Cold Steve Austin. Okay, boom. So everybody's being accused, right? They accused the American Badass at the time. The American Badass in 2000, I remember this dude had on the bandana, all of that. Boom, cool. And he was chewing tobacco. He was more like a fucking Hell's Angel. He was more like, I'm gonna whoop your ass and I'm gonna kick up dust, Texan type of badass. This motherfucker, I'm gonna say it, was a white dude acting like a black dude that was in the ring with him. Okay? Yeah, Tropic Thunder. We got the white dude acting like a black dude who's acting like a black dude with the white dude, okay? So he cut a promo on him. Let's listen.
So what do we have here? Let me tell you what we have here. We got a dead man walking.
Now, Undertaker got on some fucking medication in his glasses. Ain't nobody can tell me nothing. That's those glasses that tint when they could change the tint on their glasses depending on the lighting, because he had to have his glasses on. And Undertaker got a Kenkalon braid, girl. He got a Kenkalon braid. This motherfucker won't let it go. Mark, let it go, boo. Let's continue.
Look at you. You got that nice title. You got the bling. And I'm sorry, but is this genuine cowhide right here? I mean, I'm asking for a friend.
It's real cowhide, dog.
I don't know why Trick Williams is acting like that. It was so fucking cringe, y'all. Let's keep going.
You got it all, man. Except for one thing. Respect.
So we're gonna leave it right there because I don't want to get too much fever. So Undertaker went on to tell him that he's gonna teach him some respect. He's gonna teach him what he need to know, child. So he goes on to say, Undertaker, he said, you got that swagger too, don't you? I keep up with everybody. You just ain't the same guy with that TNA title as you was with the NXT championship. And Trick was like, that's a fact, dog. I don't know why he was acting like this. It was super fucking cringe. I have to say it again. And then the Undertaker says, you see, that guy, I watched scratch and crawl all the way to the top. He's talking about Trick Williams, NXT champ. That guy was hungry. That guy had the dog in him. That ain't you. Let me tell you something, you fella. You can have the whole package. You can have all the talent, everything in the toolbox. But with your attitude, it ain't a matter of you losing the title. It's only a matter of when. That attitude is going to be a downfall. And it's when the walls start crumbling down. Oh, man, I've seen too many times. Trick, look, your attitude is rotten. And that rotten attitude is exactly what I try to teach my LFG team. And Trick Williams said, I don't give a damn about your team. You're a legend, right? No one on your LFG team is a superstar like Trick Williams. Nobody in NXT is a superstar like Trick Williams. Nobody in all of WWE is a superstar like Trick Williams. And the Undertaker said, is that right? So let me give you just one more piece of advice. You're a little too light in the ass to step to an OG. Now you want to dance with the devil? I can flip that switch real quick. But listen, Trick, when I do, I promise you, I'll make you famous. And then he gave Trick Williams a choke slam to hell. So are we on a collision course of Trick Williams versus Undertaker? The American Badass Undertaker? With all that being said, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I don't know why I moved the mic. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I didn't see a need for this. What I would have liked was the Undertaker standing behind his LFG crew. And that's how you push young talent. Undertaker came out to basically put Trick in his place and remind him that he a young whippersnapper, and if he need to turn it on, he gonna whoop his ass. And then you had Trick Williams take a choke slam from a damn near 65-year-old man. How does that look good to anybody? And as I sit around and listen to these other old fucking heads complain about wrestling and whoop de whoop de whoop, I almost feel like this is the type of shit that they like. This is the type of shit that y'all will never let go. Y'all never gonna let these young folks get over because you letting these old motherfuckers come in and say, hey, I'm still here. Don't forget about me. I don't see how this helped anything. Although it went with the storyline because Trick Williams was talking cash shit to the Undertaker. Don't get me wrong. I understand the storyline completely. And then before then, he stepped to the LFG girls and he was barking at them and treating them all terrible and shit like that. I understand Trick Williams a heel. I don't like his heel work. I think it was goofy as fuck. When he took the choke slam, he was on that ground rolling around and had his mouth open, his arms and shit was stiff. Like, I don't get it. This is where I want y'all cousins to get into the comments and tell me how this move Trick Williams and his character work forward. How? How? He has a TNA title in NXT. Why don't you just chill in TNA and mix it up with them for a minute? You don't have to bring. This is another reason why I don't understand the TNA NXT shit. I don't get it, which is a different pod for another day. We'll have that discussion. But this right here, I didn't feel it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I feel like Mark Calloway was a response to Goldberg. I feel like the WWE, Paul Levesque, pulled a Vince and was fucking petty and was like, oh, word, so you gonna bring up the Undertaker and tell us what we don't do with the Undertaker? Well, I'm gonna show you what we do with the Undertaker. Undertaker done retired about 6 times, but that motherfucker could go, and we about to let him get a little shine down to the NXT. Goldberg, be mad, stay mad. That's what the fuck this was. That's what it was. I feel like this could have gone differently. And if you're trying to promote LFG and your younger talent, the Undertaker should have took a back seat here. There was no reason for the Undertaker to be stepping to this young dude and checking him like an old dog. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong, right? Indifferent, otherwise. Get in the comments. Let's have the conversation. Deuces.